Oh my god. Do you want to know one of the worst experiences of my life? I lived in this house that had this giant wooden deck in the backyard that was like kind of like old and like kind of like not really falling apart, but it was like moldy and like the wood would get soaked and wet and stuff. And there's one, I was probably like 5 or 6 or something. My sister was born, actually. Maybe it was before she was born. She was born when I was 9, so maybe I was like 7 or 8. So I was standing on the deck and I was talking to my mom, who was inside the sliding glass door. I had my hands on my hips. And then my leg got kind of itchy, so I went to scratch it. But there was something there, so I looked down and it was a giant flying palmetto bug. And I fucking slapped that shit off of my leg and I jumped so fucking high in the air. And I considered getting rid of that leg because of all the things, if someone was like, what's the thing that you would sacrifice your firstborn child for? I feel like, because I don't want children anyways. That's besides the point. Someone was like, you can cut your toe off as a bargaining chip. That's always my bargaining chip. I would cut my toe off myself if I could get rid of every flying palmetto bug in the entire world. I'd do it. I'd do that for you. Mostly I'd do it for me. I would also cut off one of my toes myself if it meant that I never had to have a congested nose ever again. Which toe? Any of them. You fucking pick and I'll get rid of it. I'll get rid of it. They are big roaches, but they have filmy wings that look like camera film or something. And they're disgusting. Flying palmetto bugs. Yep, that's what we've got fucking everywhere in Florida. Everywhere. They come up through the drains in the shower. So sometimes you'll just open your shower and there will be one in there. They crawl under the cracks of the door. They can live like cockroaches without their heads for like 2 weeks. They're everywhere. And the worst part about a cockroach is their legs. I hate their filmy wings, but I fucking hate their legs more. Because they've got those legs with all the little spiky hairs on them, and I hate them. I hate them. I don't know if a bug is an animal, but I hate this one. I would get rid of them. We don't need them. You can hear them skittering, that's true. Do you have them there too, Laboto? In Charleston too. They're just like, you can hear them, like sometimes they'll get like stuck on something or like they'll be crawling around and you can hear it. Worst bug in UK is a tick. See, I like my odds with that. Bugs are minerals, not animals. Because a palmetto bug is really terrible. And we have, like, they're always in your house in Florida. Pretty much always. They're everywhere. My mom would... So, you can use roach spray to kill them. But my mom's patented bug killer is she uses hairspray. Specifically, Aussie in the purple bottle hairspray. And she sprays them until they basically get stuck, frozen. Not hairspray and a lighter. No. Just hairspray. She just sprays them. I don't know if that is abuse, but they're like, yeah, they're like this big as well. I would die. If one touched my face, I would die. I'm gonna say a gross thing. So if you don't want to hear it, I'm giving you a warning right now. Don't listen. And then chat will tell you when it's safe again. We'll say safety zone. I'm gonna say the gross thing. My science teacher told me that it's funny you say I'm all ears, Zed. So my science teacher told me that her neighbor lived on this like property that had like a bunch of trees, like really big old trees. And she said that her neighbor was sleeping one night and she heard this like wind rustling outside. So she woke up. She's like, what was that? And she could still hear it, but the wind was closer. And then her ears started to hurt really badly. And so this is fucking terrible. I would sleep with earmuffs on for this. No, Fav, you can't. And so she could hear this thing like fluttering like really crazy in her ear. So she went to the emergency room and they had to pour like some kind of, maybe like hydrogen peroxide or some kind of like acid in her ear to kill the cockroach that was like this big that crawled and stuffed itself in there and couldn't get it back out. So they had to pour an acid to break it up a little bit, and then they had to pull it out piece by piece. And her eardrum had damage to it because it had started trying to bite and claw its way through her eardrum. And that is the worst. I warned you, okay? I warned you. I warned you, okay? That is like the worst thing that could ever happen to you ever. And I hated it. That is so fucking terrible. There are a lot of bad things that could happen to you. That is one of them. That is fucking one of them.